Good afternoon, morning, or evening, whatever time you're watching this. Welcome to Let's Talk Banter episode something.
8.
8?
I thought we were on like 10.
No way we're on episode 10.
No,
It
8.
could be. 8?
8.
Okay.
Alright, welcome to episode 8 of Let's Talk Banter. We got a nice little show ahead of you. We got some story times today. Gonna be talking about some store returns, some sicknesses, some fears. It's gonna be a good episode.
It's going to be a scary episode
Hey,
for Halloween, a little
for
spooky.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. We're
No,
gonna
we
dive-
definitely thought of that.
Yeah, sure we did. Yeah, we're gonna dive really deep into ourselves, and we're gonna learn a lot about ourselves this episode.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, you ready to dive in, dude?
Yeah. Who are you?
Jacob, dude. Nice to meet you.
I'm Alec.
And I'm Dale.
Handshake. Firm handshake.
Oh, Dale.
Dale.
Dale's here too.
Dale's here too. What's up, Dale?
Internet
Yeah,
handshake.
it's Jacob, Alec, and Dale here again, the original podcast crew. We don't have any guests with us this week, so we're gonna head right on into it. Dale, you want to start us off?
What's your... Oh, yeah, do you guys have any sick stories, times where you've been, like, really sick
Just
and
tell us
just...
6 stories. Like, dude, nice. That's pretty rad.
I've had times that I've done like some sick tricks.
Hell yeah. Some fidget spinner tricks.
Yeah, dude. I like spun it on my nose one time.
Oh,
It was cool. It was cool.
not that kind of sick.
No.
You mean like actually sick?
Yeah, like ill.
Like ill, dude. Like,
Why is every
everything have to do with,
sickness?
like,
Yeah. Why is
being,
it
like-
always like rad?
Yeah, like who decided that? Because I feel like anything that would have to do with being sick would just be like, man, that really sucks. That's pretty sick. Like that's kind of sucks, dude. Sorry about that. Why is that? That's a good question.
Do you have an answer to it?
Me? No. Oh God, no.
Why not?
I don't have an answer for that either, to be honest with you.
Wow, you are not helpful today.
Yeah, I'm not. I did not come prepared with my research.
I think the only sickness I've ever had is strep throat. I got a strep throat a lot. I got it about 7 times in 1 year.
That's an absurd amount, actually.
Yeah, they said it was chronic. It was pretty close to be called chronic. And one more time they would have removed my tonsils, and I've never gotten it since. I've never had strep throat again.
Your
Since then.
tonsils was like, sorry, man, we'll back off.
Yeah, they heard the doctor
Yeah.
and they were terrified.
They're like, we're not trying to get taken out, man. We were just trying to be a nuisance.
Yeah.
It's like that kid that, like, does a bunch of bad stuff to try and be cool, and then, like, when he gets threatened with suspension, he's like, oh,
Yeah, when
I
they
didn't-
call his mom,
Yeah.
he's like a big pussy.
Yeah, he's like a little baby back baby. Oh, man. I've never had strep throat. Never have.
Really?
No, I had really bad sore throats. I got them pretty constantly all the time growing up, and I would always try and use them as an excuse to get out of school for the day, but my mom always made me go. But never strep throat. No.
I've had strep throat. There was a time where I refused to let them, like, get the sample, like, because they have to, like, scrape the inside of your throat or whatever.
They don't scrape it. They
like,
swab,
swab
it.
it.
Yeah.
Swab it, okay, whatever. I refused to let them do that, to the point where the doctor was like, all right, whatever, here's the medication.
My mom would have strapped me down and shoved a cotton swab in my mouth. She wouldn't have been like, "Oh no, it's cool."
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I guess I was just never been in that scenario, so I don't really have anything to say. I've never had strep throat.
It sucks.
Yeah. Like, so what? Is
I don't
strep
get-
throat? Is it?
It's I don't know. It's an infection of
like, on
the
the
tonsils
tonsils.
and throat. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like really bad sore throat.
Yeah, you get spots, yellow spots on the back of your throat.
Ew.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
That's pretty gross. Like one time I had like a furry tongue. Like I had like little furries on
Ew.
my tongue. It was pretty gross.
That's really gross.
Yeah, I don't know what caused it. I just like woke up.
Smoking.
Yeah, smoking. It was all the smoking I did when I was like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, what a hard ass.
No, I did not smoke when I was 14. I got it when I was 14. I have no idea why I got it. It was only there for like 3 days, and then it just went away one
You
day.
shaved your tongue.
Yeah, I shaved my tongue. I was like,
It's too
oh,
soft.
Oh, God, that would hurt
I'll
so
cut
bad.
myself.
That would be really bad.
Yeah. You would have like zero little fucking
Taste buds.
taste buds. I was like, what is that word for like mouth sensors?
Oh, so I have a little story about taste buds.
Oh yeah.
So when I was really young, I'm trying to debate if I want to tell this now or if I want to wait for Christmas.
Oh.
It's
is
a
it
it's a
Christmas
wintertime story. Yeah.
Is it a
Actually,
toll? Was it a toll story?
it's shockingly close to a Christmas story.
Go ahead and tell it. We already started.
Well, the night before I went over to my buddy's house, and when I was leaving, I licked the pole
Nice,
to
dude.
see if my tongue would stick because I had heard it was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't stick. And I tried it a couple of times and it never stuck. And I was like, it's just a myth. It doesn't really stick. So then there was one day we were out playing like a snowball fight, meme, something like that. And my tongue got stuck to the pole because I told him, I was like, it doesn't stick. So I stuck my tongue to the pole, and my friend went inside
Mm-hmm.
and was like, I'm going to go get you some hot water.
Yeah.
And I was like panicking. I was like crying. I had some tears running down my face that were then
Blame you.
freezing.
Oh no.
And I ripped my tongue off the pole.
Oh.
You just
I
did
just
it. You just bit
ripped
the
it.
bullet and just like a Band-Aid.
It fucking hurt,
Oh.
but I ripped it.
Oh
And
no.
I couldn't taste anything for 4
I
months.
was gonna say, could you like for how long?
4 months before they grew back.
Is that how long they take to grow back?
It took a while, yeah.
Wow.
But I had a lot of blood in my mouth. It was really irony.
Oh no.
It was. If you don't like the taste of blood, I'm sorry.
Don't recommend.
Don't recommend
don't
it.
recommend
I
licking
don't
the
recommend it
pole.
to anybody. It really
Yeah.
sucked. But my tongue was still on the pole for like a week.
Oh,
like the
taste
skin,
buds were?
the skin, yeah. And there was a bit of frozen tongue
Oh.
on the pole in like a patch
Oh no.
where my tongue
No,
was.
let's move on. This is gross. I'm grossed out.
Well, the worst part of the story is I went into the house.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Where the hell were you, man?" And he's got a cup of water in the microwave. And he had it on for like, there was still like a minute and a half left.
Oh god, he was gonna burn your tongue.
He was
gonna
gonna
burn
burn
your
my
tongue
tongue off. Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't lose.
I
it
was
to
gonna rip it off anyway.
Yeah, if you didn't lose.
If
it
I
to
would have
the
touched,
pole, you were gonna be gone.
if I would have touched that hot water, I would have ripped that shit.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, dude, it just needs warm temperature.
Oh, I was reading this article the other day of like this new trend that's going around where like kids like give each other like cups of boiling water, and like when people are sleeping at sleepovers, they like throw it on them.
Oh
like,
no.
Burns skin.
Oh,
and,
no.
like, gives instant 3rd-degree burns. And like there was one story about this girl who like was dared to drink boiling water through a straw, and she died
I just sucked it right back to her throat.
because it burned all through her throat and stuff. And there was like some other stuff that happened. I think some blood got into her throat, and then she like choked to
Choked on
death
it.
on her blood.
I was gonna say
I was
like, there's no esophagus replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not really a thing.
No, it's
We're-
not.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dale, you tell your thing, and then we'll go back to the esophagus.
I
replacement.
actually have two things now. I guess
Okay.
since it's still more relevant. So one time I, at work, because I was a cook, I got some either nearly boiling water or simmering water. It was really hot. It splashed on my chest. Through my shirt, I still lost a layer of skin right around my
Oh.
nipple.
Yeah.
It
Through her
hurt
shirt?
so bad.
It went through your shirt.
Yeah, it went through my shirt.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really bad.
And
was
then
always,
I
like,
had to
clothes will
suck it
protect
up.
me.
I went to the grocery store across the street, bought bandages and burn cream, and came back to work, and then applied it.
Wow.
It hurt so bad.
You know what I did? I cried with a bandage in my mouth.
You put a bandage in your mouth, like a cloth bandage.
I put
Ew.
like
Gauze.
Like
toilet
gauze?
paper, tissues, stuff to soak up all the blood.
Ew.
Yeah, it was really gross.
Oh, the thought of that being in my mouth, like I hate that feeling.
I had I still went out and played with them.
Yeah.
And there was one day that we were out there. Well, it was later. It wasn't that day.
Yeah.
But I went outside, and my buddy Tegan was up at the pole, and he was like,
Brown?
"Yeah."
Oh.
He was like, "What's this on the pole?" And they were like, "Oh, that's Alex's tongue." And he just starts scratching with his finger. And I was like,
ew.
"No, it's my tongue. You don't do it."
Oh no!
It was, yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
So lesson learned. I'll never do that again.
Not nearly as bad. One time I got like some fingers stuck to the inside of the freezer at work because my hands were, I guess, a little wet and it was a very cold freezer.
I get terrified
That was
now.
uncomfortable to rip it off.
I've gotten like wet hands stuck to ice cubes, and that makes me uncomfortable now because it reminds me of the day. Yeah.
I bet. Oh no, I don't mess around with that stuff. I don't mess around.
The cold is scary, man.
The cold is scary. The cold is scary. I don't.
Speaking of which, it's getting real cold. We got a cold front coming through.
Yeah, it's like it was pretty chilly out there. I just took Alex's dog out earlier. It was a nice little breeze.
Oh, by the way, thanks, man.
Yeah, no worries, dude. No worries. I wanted to spend some time with little Finny bear.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy. Has no hair right now. I'm surprised he wasn't cold out there.
He's getting cold. On the colder days, I took him out one morning. It was 50, and he was very cold.
Poor
he was
little
shaking.
guy.
Yeah,
I feel so bad for him.
He should grow back pretty soon here, though, before it gets super cold. But he won't have a full coat by the time December hits.
All right, let's go back to the sickness stories. Anybody else have a good one? Dale, do you have one?
Yes. So when I was 5 or 6 years old, we were my dad had a business trip in San Antonio, and my mom and I went down for a few days.
The Onyo.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was time to
moves past it.
time to leave, time to get on the plane, whatever, and eating the continental breakfast, whatever. I had a lot of scrambled eggs. So anyway, we're in the rental car.
I hear the foreshadowing in your story.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And wasn't feeling too hot, and I'm like, Mom, I'm not feeling so good. In mid-sentence, throws up everywhere.
Oh.
In the rental car, all over me, all over the seats. It
I have
was.
to put a disclaimer in this video saying
Yeah.
it's pretty gross.
There's nothing graphic. It's just pretty gross.
Yeah, I have a really bad throw-up story.
And
let's hear it.
this isn't the end of it.
Oh no.
Well, anyway, we
Phase 2.
ended up going to a Whataburger, and my mom
That was a poor
just like.
idea.
They gave us some towels that, like, my dad started cleaning the car out the best he could, and my mom had to change me with, like, extra clothes. It's just a fucking mess.
That's disgusting.
That's really bad.
That's really gross.
And we're just like, oh, God, I hope the rental car people just don't realize it. The car's gonna smell so bad.
Oh, I forgot it was a rental car.
Yeah, that's gonna be
no.
bad. Did you go to like a car wash to vacuum it out or something?
I have no idea. I don't remember that far, but as far as I know,
think you
they
would've had
never
to. That's
charged my
gross.
dad anymore or anything.
That's good.
I would have just taken the charge. I would have went right back to the rental car place.
Good
Here you
luck.
go. Here you go. You'll have a new one.
Yeah.
We kind of ruined this one.
We're talking about the kid, actually.
Yeah, can we have a new kid?
We ruined
This one pukes in the rental car.
No, my throw-up story. It was this last New Year's Eve, and I had partaken in some
festivities,
gotten very incoherent, for the lack of a better
code
term.
words. I like it.
But the next morning I was feeling horrible, but I was supposed to drive home, which was like an hour and a half drive, and so I was feeling really gross. I hadn't eaten anything that morning, but I was like, I can't eat anything or else I'm gonna puke, and so I took some ibuprofen. And I grabbed a bag of some wavy barbecue Lay's potato chips,
Oh, gross.
which are my favorite kind of chips.
Why?
Hickory barbecue. They're so good. They're sweet
We're
and
gonna
tangy.
circle. Hold on, I'm gonna write this down. We're talking about how nasty barbecue chips are.
Dude, that's not true. They're like my favorite
Hey,
kind of chips.
voice your opinion when we circle back.
Okay. Anyway, the choice of chips is beside the point. But anyway, I was eating them as we were going back, and I got about 45 minutes into the drive, and I was sitting there and I was like, man, I'm not feeling good. I'm gonna puke. And I was like, I'm not pulling over though. I'm gonna keep going. And so I held it off as long as I could. Oh man, saying this story right now brings it back, and it doesn't make me feel good.
It doesn't bring it up though, right?
No, it doesn't bring it up. It just brings it back. But I was sitting there driving. I was like, I'm not pulling over. I'm not doing it. The only thing I had in the car was the bags of the chips that I was already eating. So
Oh,
I
no.
grabbed the bag, which was like pretty much empty, and
Was it a big bag or a little bag?
it was like the big bag. It was a
Oh,
party
okay.
size bag.
Oh, please tell me you at least like ate most of the bag first.
I ate most of the chips.
Yeah,
So
but
there
that
was
smells
like
ugh.
there's like maybe like.
Why does it matter
a
if you ate
sixth
the
of the
chips
bag
or not?
left. Cause like
I mean, the
they're
chips
good
are going back in the bag.
Yeah, they were going back anyways. That's
Oh my
gross.
god.
But like, I threw up in the bag, but I still had 45 minutes of my drive left, so I just had to sit there and hold the throw up bag because I didn't want to like sitting on my seat.
I would have pulled over and thrown it out.
Oh,
You
I
really
can't
should
do
have pulled
that.
over.
I can't do that to somebody.
But no, in the trash can.
Oh,
Like on the side of the road.
it was like, we were in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't have just pulled it over at any point.
You definitely could have.
No, I mean,
There are trucker stops everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just in the mood, and I was like, I just need to get home. I just need to get this done with and get home.
Jesus.
Oh, it was so bad.
I remember I went to IHOP after New Year's, and I had also partaken in the festivities.
That was a
Yeah.
fun night.
Yeah, that was a fun night. Dale was there.
Mm-mm.
And we went to IHOP, and I think I took one bite of my burger.
Yeah, that seems
Wait,
about right.
hold on. Before we get going here, you got a burger at IHOP?
Every morning. I don't eat breakfast foods. I just
Really?
when I go to a breakfast place, I just order a burger.
You're the weirdest dude.
It really wasn't morning though. It was 11.
You still, every time you go to IHOP, you get breakfast food.
No.
That's what IHOP
I used to
is.
go to Denny's with my grandma, my great grandma,
Yeah.
and every time we went, I got the double cheeseburger whatever with like Thousand Island dressing. And it was super good every morning with fries.
I just want you to know that IHOP stands for International House of Pancakes.
Yeah, their burger wasn't that good.
Yeah, because they make pancakes. They're
Yeah.
like, somebody actually ordered a burger? What is this?
It's common.
No.
Whatever.
I mean, it's on the menu.
Yeah, it's on the menu, man.
Yeah,
If they didn't want me to order it, they would time restrict it. Done?
You got me, but yes.
Yeah,
But like,
you done?
Okay, go on. Go on.
Anyway, I took one bite of the burger and was like, "All right, guys, I'll be back in a second."
Oof.
I just went right to the bathroom and puked up my bite, plus like everything from the night before. I took a funny Snapchat,
Yep.
and then it said the caption on the Snapchat was new because last year was New Year, New Me.
Yeah.
It was New Year, New Places to Puke.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then I came back and finished my food. And we went home.
Gross.
Is that, you gotta
finished it?
Yeah, of course I finished it. I only took one bite.
I couldn't eat those hickory barbecue chips for like 4
Yeah,
months.
because you puked in the bag.
But like the whole rest of the way home, the 45 minutes, I just smelled barbecue chips.
Oh god.
Throw up.
So before we get into this, we're still not circling back.
Okay.
Dale, you said something about esophagus replacements.
Yeah.
So I was watching a video by the LA Beast. Do you know who the LA Beast is?
I don't know who that is.
He eats actual garbage, and like
trash?
not like trash, but like he eats like light bulbs and shit.
Like glass.
Like glass.
You can't. No.
But he always one-ups it because it's like the challenge is to eat one light bulb. So I'm gonna eat 5,
What?
and then
No.
he eats 5 light bulbs.
What?
Yeah,
For views.
yeah. He also had this video. This is a pretty funny prank. But his dad was like, "You can't film any more videos in this house," and he's like real pissed about it. So he took a capsule of Ipecac and then drank a 2-liter of Pepsi and sat in his dad's car. Which, if you don't know what Ipecac is, it makes you puke. So he just left it in the car.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's not a funny prank.
anyway.
No, it really
Moving a
isn't.
car.
It's not funny. It's really messed up. But
Honestly, I think it's just vandalism.
well, it's his dad's car, so it's not like his dad's gonna press charges. Probably.
I would.
I mean, I'd make him clean it.
Yeah, I would. Oh, the only thing that Dad said was, "Hey man, quit filming gross videos of you eating light bulbs in our house."
It was more than that. He makes a lot of gross videos.
Okay.
He made a video where he drank a 20-year-old Crystal Pepsi too.
Oh,
Yeah, that eats a lot of puking in there too.
Yeah.
Or a gallon jug of Tabasco sauce. This dude's like insane.
Gross.
Anyway, this is where it came from.
Okay.
So, he ate not just one cactus, but 2 cacti in one of his videos. And
With needles and all?
yes, needles and all, pins and all.
What?
Yeah, it's really like hard to watch because
Ow.
I just can't think about it. Because I just think about like pins in my gums,
Oh no.
and it just hurts me.
I can like.
'Cause,
It
like,
hurts me
this
when
is-
I eat popcorn and the seed like kernels get
This
stuck
is
in my teeth.
this is what I imagine, right?
Mhm.
You take a bite, and one of the pins goes through like
The
your
roof?
molars
Oh.
and through the roof up your gums.
Oh.
That's what I think about every time.
No.
Anyway.
Okay, please go on.
He ate 2 of them, and I was asking Dale. I said, "How much money would you have to be paid to eat 2 cacti?" And Dale, what was your response?
My response was originally like something like it'd have to be $1 million, and then I thought like, oh, it'd have to be enough to cover the medical bills, and then I realized, wait, there's no esophagus replacement. You can't
Yeah.
fix that.
Yeah.
So
you just
no, I would never.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
What?
I don't know how he gets rid of it.
I don't know how he's okay.
Because if you puke it or poop it, it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Because you don't digest needles or pins.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm not a.
I
Cactus
know
eating
you
expert.
don't digest wax.
Is there wax in
Thank
cactus?
you.
No, I learned that from Shoe Nice.
Oh, Shoe Nice is gross too. You know who Shoe Nice is?
No, is it another guy who eats gross things?
Basically.
Yeah, he eats like. He had one video. The video that
You mind, I've never
my
actually seen
roommate
one of his
showed
videos.
me. He like
I've heard of this channel, I think.
he put like 10 cigarettes in his mouth, and then lit them all,
and then ate
and
it?
then ate the cigarettes on fire.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
And then he ate like 3 cans of chew. Like, it's so
Oh.
bad. And like crayons and shit.
No, we need no. Okay. Well, no, we're
This is the
moving on.
spooky episode.
No, it's not the gross episode. It's the spoopy episode.
Why not both? Halloween's kind of gross.
It is kind of gross. You ever watch American Horror Story? That show's gross.
What's gross about it?
There's so much like gross sex stuff in there. Like, Anna was like,
Ew, sex is gross.
no.
It's the human body.
No, it's not.
art.
It's not. It's not the sex that is gross. It is the stuff that they do during the sex is gross. So like, Hannah was like, "Hey, you might like this season." So we watched the first episode of the hotel one, and in the first episode, there is a guy that has a dildo that is a drill, and
A
he,
dildo
a dildo, and he does this dude in the butt with it.
with his dildo.
With his
Fuck.
dildo. And I was like, why? I'm not watching this show anymore. That's gross. That's disgusting. I'm done. And that's where I drew my line.
Maybe you're
Dildos.
homophobic.
What? No, it has nothing. No. I'm far from that.
Dude, you have to think like, if you were gay, would you want a dildo?
No, I wouldn't.
Well, you don't know that
I do know that.
because you are gay.
No, I'm not gay.
Oh, okay.
I have nothing against it, but I'm not personally.
But if you were, you might want a dildo.
No, I would not. Let's make this very clear.
You're too amped about this. I'm starting to think you do want a
No,
dildo.
I don't want a dildo. That's why I'm amped because that's the last thing I want in my butt is a dildo.
You don't have to go on your butt. Anyway.
Where else would it go?
You don't want to know.
Okay.
Your belly
Stop
button?
This episode. No. What is
Just
this
the ear.
episode? Oh no, we're spiraling out of control. We were talking about sicknesses.
We're
at one
losing
point.
it.
Where
You're
are we?
tearing me apart, Lisa.
What are we talking about?
Dildos.
Anything but that. Anything but that. I never shared my. I don't really have any sickness stories. I got sick a lot, but they were all just like regular common colds and stuff.
I don't get sick anymore. I feel like.
I hardly get sick anymore. If I do, I have really bad bowel stuff. So we don't talk about that. But
butt problems.
Yeah, but both problems. All the drill doing.
Was there a time where you didn't make it to the bathroom?
I have pooped my pants in my life, yes.
As an adult?
As an adult. It's a shameful experience.
I can't believe you just admitted that on the internet.
I did. I mean, all of our 4 listeners are going to hear me talk about me pooping my pants.
Dude, when we make it big.
If we make it big, then I will be okay with everyone knowing I pooped my pants in my life as a grown adult.
I don't think I've ever pooped my pants.
Really? Ever?
No, as a baby.
Oh, never.
Don't mock me, alright? I wore a diaper back then for a reason.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not like I wasn't planning on pooping my pants. I had really, really bad runs, and one day it was the day we went paintballing together.
It was
Wait, what?
That day that we all 3 went paintballing together, along with a bunch of our other friends. We were all out paintballing, and I was like, guys, I have a really bad stomach thing going on today. I don't know what's going on. The day before was really bad too, and I was like, I might poop my pants today. I've said that multiple times during that day. And one time, so the paintball course has like a big open area and it has a big castle in the middle, the outside course does. And so we were going in and we were charging into the castle. No, we were in the castle, so we had to walk out there at the first part. And as we were walking out, I started to like jog and jump over this little thing, and I jumped and I landed, and like it just happened. It wasn't a lot. It was just enough to know that it did happen.
Oh my god.
Something tells me that I might have actually smelled that and thought there was just like some shit on the course.
You know, I mean, the course did smell really bad, so I'm gonna blame it on the course. But like,
I would say it was more likely the course.
It was hopefully the course.
That is funny though.
It was really gross. Oh, I hated that. I had so much fun that day, but like I hated my bowels that day. It was disgusting.
I mean, we didn't have that much fun. It was kind of
Well, yeah, there was a bunch of tryhard people there, and we were just out there to have fun. But
like the tryhard dudes in army clothes.
yeah, the
camo,
tryhard dudes
full
in army
camo.
clothes.
And
Yeah,
brought
full
smoke
camo.
grenades.
Yeah. The fact that they brought smoke grenades. Oh man.
We're all kitted out in like the rental equipment.
Yeah.
And
like,
they roll
sweatshirts
up
and
in
stuff.
like their Jeep Liberty with
These guys were like 35, 40 too.
yeah, they were yeah.
They were like way too old to be caring that much about paintball. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But
Anyway,
yeah.
Want to attempt to circle back to barbecue chips?
yeah, they suck.
Well, give me some reasoning, please.
I love barbecue.
Okay.
Barbecue chips taste like ketchup.
They don't taste anything like ketchup. They taste sweet.
Dale,
They don't taste like ketchup.
they taste like ketchup.
No. You were waiting for your backup there and it didn't come, so you just restated your original point.
It's still true though.
No, it's not.
You know the primary ingredient in barbecue is like ketchup, right? Or at least
Yes.
the barbecue that
Yeah.
they use.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It just tastes like ketchup to me.
Really?
And I don't really like ketchup.
It doesn't taste that much like ketchup, to be honest. It just tastes sweet, which I can understand the sweetness of it tasting kind of like ketchup, but I don't think it tastes actually like ketchup, though.
I mean, it does though. So like,
That's not an argument.
I mean, it's trying to be one.
I can't tell you it's not true, because it is trying to be one, but it's not. I don't know what to tell you. I can't win this argument.
That's right. Admit defeat.
I mean, I'm not, because it doesn't taste like ketchup, but
I'm sure there's a forum, a group of people, a community that agrees with me.
I'm sure there's a community for everything. I could
Even-
argue
even
that
dildos?
ducks are the best animals, and there's someone out there that would be like, hell yeah, dude.
They
Ducks are the best.
They really are great.
Why?
They're corkscrew penises.
Gross. By no means does that make them the best animals.
It makes them the rapiest animals. Because they have the corkscrew because they're like... They like literally rape the women ducks.
That's pretty bad.
That's what the corkscrew is for. To
Can we
like...
stand up against male ducks? Mallards, I think it is. Or is that just the type of duck?
I think that's just a type.
Oh, okay. Cancel that.
but like, yeah, no, ducks are. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, ducks are pretty bad. All right, let's move on because I wanna have this last bit of the episode be mainly about Halloween. So we'll move on to our next topic real quick. You wanted to talk about store returns. What about in specific?
All right, so this is in no way condoning. Just to preface this, not sponsored by, not told to tell this to anybody by Best Buy, but I have a teacher who went to Best Buy and he bought an operating system for his computer, but he didn't check to see if it was the right one. So he went home and tried to use it and it didn't work. And then he went back to Best Buy. He was telling the story in class, but he went back to Best Buy and tried to return it, and they were like, "Well, you can't return an OS because it's just like a code, and there's no guarantee that you didn't use it." And he was all pissy about it and talking about how stupid it was in class. And I was like, "Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I have returned probably 30 products to Best Buy in my lifetime. I return things to Best Buy all the time. And I used to shop at Best Buy a lot until I realized that I never actually kept anything. I always just returned it. So I stopped shopping there. But they have an excellent return policy.
Best Buy?
Yeah, excellent. I returned speakers that I blew 2 months after I bought them, and they still took them.
I think my favorite Best Buy return story is the one that we had together. Do you wanna share this story?
Sure. Okay, so
I love this story.
I bought these Beats headphones, and I bought Studios, which are the $300 ones, and then I bought a $50 warranty. So it was about $370 after everything with tax. So a couple years later, I went back because they had a crack in them, and I was like, "Hey, these have a crack. I'm just worried they're gonna break." So I'm cashing in on my return, and they were like, "Okay, cool." So we don't have those Studios anymore because all they have is the upgraded version. So, I mean, you can just take the upgraded version. So I did, and I paid $3 cash to renew another 2 years of warranty.
Wow.
So then about a year, because Best Buy rocks at returns. So then a year later, I never used them, and I wanted to buy a Wii U.
Yeah, we wanted to buy one because we lived together.
For the dorm.
Yeah.
And so I went to Best Buy and I said, "Hey, I want to return these." And they said, "Is there anything actually wrong with them?" And I was like, "Well, not really. I just don't use them." And they were like, "Okay, well, you can't return them if they're not broken." So we went out in the car, and Jacob gave him the old Indian rug burn on the headphones, and completely broke them.
I just took the headphones by each end and just pulled them till they snapped. And then we walked right back into the store.
And said, "These are broken." And I got $380.
Yeah.
So,
Which doesn't
for any
add up at
attentive
all.
listeners, I made money for renting Beats headphones for 2.5 to 3 years.
Wow.
And then broke them, yeah, and bought a Wii U with the money.
Yeah. Oh.
And then sold the Wii U.
And then sold the Wii U.
Yeah.
For money.
Yeah. Wow.
So we plussed.
Always plussing.
Always plussing. I love that story. That was so funny. We just went in that day. We were so crushed because we wanted that Wii U.
I know. I was like, dude, I'm offering you. This is a once in a lifetime. I'll just go stomp them.
Yeah.
Don't test me.
Yeah. And
I just remember going out into the car, and I turned to Jacob, and I was like, "I don't know if I can break these." And he was like, "You heard the guy. If they're broken, you get your money back." And he's like, "I'll do it." He took them out,
I just did it.
snapped
He was
them.
like, "Do you want to come back later, or if there's a different person at the thing?" I was like, "Nah, we're fine." So we just waltzed back in.
But the worst part was they didn't have a Wii U there.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
We had to go to a different store.
Yeah.
We traveled to 2 different stores to find a Wii U, and we got there like 2 minutes before they closed.
Yeah.
And went and bought a Wii U.
What a day that was. That was such a fun day.
And then we came home to software updates.
Oh,
we didn't
that's
get
so
to
true.
play
We didn't
it.
even get to play it that day. We had to come back the next day and play. That was crazy. Man, I miss times like that where we didn't have anything going on.
There's
We
some
just
real
spent the
goon
whole
shit.
day.
That was
Yeah.
some goon shit.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Anybody else have any fun store return?
Yeah,
Store?
like, how do you guys feel about store returns in general? Like, do you think that people take advantage? Like, I definitely take advantage of them.
Oh yeah.
But do you think that there are better stores for returns than others, or do you guys return a lot of things?
I don't buy a lot of things except for Amazon. To be honest.
I'm always so confused about returning stuff online that I bought online because you have to like return ship it and I don't know, man.
The real
I
good
know it's
distributors,
Oh,
easy,
I've got one.
the good distributors will send you a box to return it in
Okay.
case it needs it.
Yeah.
So
Do
I've
I
got
don't
something.
believe you. Yeah.
So, let's say March after this would have been whatever, like 5 months after the PlayStation 4 came out. Got it, and not too long after, it kept coming up with this crash error to the point where it was pretty much unplayable. And you don't get on PlayStation support. They have me do all this crazy nonsense. Half of it I already did because I just looked it up online. Their apparently support is just going through those steps.
Yeah, the support's not very helpful. We can get into that too. I have more. Go ahead.
So anyway, they send me a box a few days later to ship it off. I ship it off. They give me another one. No charge or anything. It's under warranty. Same thing. Same error code.
Yeah. I remember this.
Over and over. To the point where it's unplayable. Do it again. It's a point where I'm like, all right, I know how all this works. Just give me a box. Let me send it
Right.
back. It happens again. I honestly cannot remember how many PlayStation 4s I had that I went
I
through.
think you had like 6.
That's
I want to say
ridiculous.
4.
It was a lot.
I want to say 4. I don't think it got it to 6.
It was a lot though.
It
I
was
remember
unreasonable.
Because it was like it was almost a full like year after release of the PS4 before you got one that would just work.
I won't say a year because that would have been November. It took a couple months.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But,
That is actually,
We played a lot of PS3 in those times because Dale didn't have his working.
Well, that and there weren't that many games out yet. But
Right.
it got to the point where at one point you're just like, Dale, are you sure it's not just you? Are you sure you're not the one?
That's what I said. I
blame here?
totally said that.
Yeah, I'm like, no, dude. I am doing everything correctly. It's the PlayStation. And like, there was some doubt to it. It was like, it's the same code. These are all different PlayStations. It's got to be the PlayStation, right?
You would think.
The store return. I worked at Walmart for a while, and I worked in the automotive department doing sales. And then during the summer, I moved back home, and I worked in like a little small neighborhood Walmart. And I worked as a cashier, and I worked the self-checkout. But my favorite thing to do was the return desk.
Oh,
And
boy.
people abuse the system all the time. And I really couldn't do anything about it, because, like, what am I going to do, call them out on it?
Yeah.
Because people would just bring stuff in. And our policy used to be anything under, I think, $28 or some random number like that, you could return without a receipt. And you would get in-store credit. And so we would have people just steal stuff and then bring
Return
it back under $28 without a receipt. And it wouldn't go under their name or anything. They wouldn't have to provide their driver's license, and they would just get in-store credit.
Interesting.
And, like, I knew that people were stealing and stuff, but I couldn't do anything to prove it, so I was just like, all right, whatever. I mean, I don't doesn't bother me any.
You don't care. It's not your fault.
Yeah, exactly. So that happened all the time. So Walmart had a really bad system for a while that could just be absolutely abused. When I worked at the Walmart, the big Walmart here, I actually had somebody that I worked with at Walmart that would steal those the PlayStation like Plus cards for like a full year, the $60 ones, and then would like bring it back and say like, "Hey, my code didn't work," and they'd be like, Oh, okay. And then we just refund him the money.
Wow.
He'd just get $60. Like, that's such
That's
a
crazy.
flawed system. But they fixed it now, so it's like you have to, any amount, I think you have to provide your ID without a receipt. So that way they can see how many you've done without a receipt.
Right.
I don't work at Walmart anymore, so I don't care about sharing this information. So, if you want to break the system,
No. We can't do that.
why not? I
The
hate that
government
company.
will hear
I
us.
hate that company.
Anyway, let's not ruin it. You can tell me though. Not just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I'm not a thief though. I can't steal
Not a
things from
theft,
Walmart.
no.
Yeah, I'm not a theft.
No. You guys ready to get scary?
Well, I had something I was going to talk
Oh,
about.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting a little
I
anxious
don't know what
to
it
get
was
scary.
though. What were we talking about, man?
Star returns and stuff?
Check the chat.
It wasn't that, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Oh,
Let's move on
Probably
support.
was.
Support.
Oh, yeah. PlayStation support. My favorite company to call in for. They tried to steal money from me one time because I called in for assistance. My PlayStation did the equivalent of a red ring,
Okay.
which
For
is
the
just it
Xbox,
overheated. Yeah. But it's way less common on PlayStations.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically it overheated, and I called somebody and said, "Hey, how do I fix this?" And they were like, "Well, we have to charge you $2 to talk to the person." And I was like, "Okay, fine, whatever, $2, like, to get it for sure taken care of." And
Yeah.
then whatever. So I called the dude, and in the background they're just like dicking around. They're not really doing anything, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's called like a yellow light. You just need a new system. You can't fix it." And I was like, "Oh, cool, I guess." So that was that. And then they transferred me over to billing, and billing had charged me for $200 and then had more charges on the way for a total of $600.
Whoa.
And so after this is a long, arduous 4-hour conversation with the manager of the billing department.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised I never heard this.
Eventually I got my money back. Well,
You should have gotten money. Like
I
they
did.
should have given
I
you
did.
stuff.
They refunded the $200, and then I got $200 more off of a fraud charge.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really long, stupid conversation, and I was just so mad, and I was yelling at them, and they were like, "Look, man, I don't know how to resolve this problem," and I was like, "Dude, I will sit here," and I was sick this day too.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally waiting for my mom to come pick me up to go to the doctor. So on my way to the doctor's office, I was like, "Dude, I will sit here all day. I have nothing better to do. I will sit here and argue with you until you give me my money back."
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, sir, I can't do that. I'll lose my job if I do that." And I said, "Well, that's your fucking problem, dude."
Yeah.
And then,
Jeez.
and that was the end of it. He gave me my money back. Because I told him, I said, "Dude, I will sit here and just yell at you for 8 hours straight until you close, and I will call you tomorrow morning on your extension and talk to you some more. I will haunt your dreams."
So, don't piss off Alec if you work in IT.
Ever since then, though, I've never had any tolerance for anybody on the support lines. When I call,
What
like...
about Sure West?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Sure West, which used to be Everest, I used to call them all the time because the internet was so bad, and I would just yell at them. And, oh, my God. Whoever got me was having a bad day. Because I just have no remorse for them anymore.
Yeah,
After that. Because if you give them an inch, they're going to take $600.
Fair enough.
Oh my
Jeez.
god, I cannot believe $600.
That's crazy.
It was
that's
really
a
ridiculous.
very, very significant amount of money.
And my mom picked up the phone because she heard me yelling because she had just got home, and she was like, "Well, what happened?" I was like, "They're trying to take $600 from me," and she was like, "You can't take $600 from this kid if you didn't authorize him. He's 16.
Yeah.
He's not even old enough to
They'll authorize
vote."
a payment, yeah.
Yeah. And they were like, "With all due respect, ma'am, this is a conversation between me and your son." And I went off on him. I was like, how skeevy do you get?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was...
Wow.
Yeah, he had a rough day.
I hope that dude got fired.
They were handing me off between 7 different people that day because I would yell at each of them for about an hour and a half.
That's a good way to get some stress out. Just yell at some
I
people.
ruined that company's day. The whole office was like, "Did you talk to the kid?"
The kid.
I was so mad.
Like a notorious gangster.
I
We have
will,
to deal with the kid today, man.
I will fly to your HQs and I will beat you all down with a tire iron. You'll give me my $200 back.
Oh man. So those guys had some pretty bad fears. Let's get spooky and get into our fears. What are you guys afraid of?
I'm afraid of the dark.
Afraid of the dark?
No.
I am.
You are?
Yeah.
You sleep with a nightlight?
No. I used to have a lamp in my room that I would always sleep with, and people are like, "How do you sleep with that light on?" It's like, I'm too afraid to fall asleep otherwise. But like, it's gotten a lot better. I can sleep with all my lights off now, and I don't really care anymore. But like, until about 20, I'm 22 now. Until about 20 years old, I was horrified of the dark. I'm just
Wow.
I'm just putting myself out there on this
Yeah.
podcast.
Really, though?
Anybody can like know a lot about me. But yeah, it was.
Anybody can,
it was-
know a lot.
They can know a lot about me. They can know all about Jacob. But yeah, I was pretty petrified of the dark for a while. I hated it. What do you got? What do you got?
That's interesting.
Give me something.
I used to be scared of spiders. I'm a lot less scared now.
Yeah, I think we found a little bit about that last episode, talking about insects.
Like, bugs are creepy, but like when you spend the time, like I used to just really hate bugs, but after taking that entomology class, it really like jittered a lot of that out. I still don't like spiders, but it's mainly just big spiders.
Yeah,
Like I've never seen them, so maybe I'm not scared.
like those camel killer things.
The concept of them is terrifying,
Yeah.
though.
Just huge spiders.
8-legged killers.
Yeah.
It actually stems. It's a Halloween story.
Uh-oh.
That's a story time with Alec
Heck
this
yeah,
week.
I love story time with Alec. It's my favorite.
When I was really young, I was down in my basement playing with Legos, and my crazy ex-Uncle Steve came down.
Ex-Uncle Steve.
Yeah. He came down, and he was watching, like, HBO or some shit. And, hold on. Dale sent a picture of a spider, so I'm just going to delete that.
Camel spider, dude.
I don't want to look at it.
Camel spiders are horrifying. Go
Anyway,
on. Sorry. Go on.
so he put on like HBO or something, and they were playing Arachnophobia, which if you don't know what that is, it's a really old movie about giant spiders that take over the world.
Yeah, because arachnophobia is the fear of spiders.
Yeah, so there was like giant spiders like destroying supermarkets, and there were these like medium-sized giant spiders that would like crawl in the vents and like kill people.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like 6, so I didn't sleep that night. I was terrified.
Oh man.
And ever since then, not a fan of spiders.
I don't doubt that actually. I don't doubt that at all. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, the fear that I have, it's not really a fear of like people breaking into my house as much, because like a lot of people when they're afraid of the dark, they're afraid of that. They're like
Yeah.
afraid of people breaking in. Mine's like demons and stuff, man. I don't play with that.
See, I don't think that that's scary. That's
Really?
not scary to me.
Like demonic stuff, man. I don't play with that stuff.
If I
That's not for me.
watch a horror movie, I want to watch a realistic horror movie, something that could, actually happen.
and actually scare you.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't think that like cults and summoning demons and stuff is all that scary.
I find cults super interesting, actually.
I think cults are kind of frightening, but I think it gets a bad rap because a cult isn't always a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, cult is just an infamous term that people
Right.
think it's infamous, but it's not really a bad thing. No, it's just a grouping of people.
That all have
Chant and stuff.
very similar beliefs. And,
Yeah.
probably an idol.
Yeah. Anyway.
Technically, churches are cults,
Oh,
right?
going
I mean,
there.
by the
I think by
definition?
the definition, yes, churches are cults. But
Anyway, not to offend anybody. Dale, what are you scared of?
I think we've gone over this a little bit. The fear of
Stinging
wasps and
insects.
bees and that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
There it is. You guys are just afraid of like bugs and stuff, man.
I don't
We're
really like
scared of
snakes.
Demons.
Yeah. Like you you guys are scared of all this real stuff. I'm scared of like the stuff I don't know about. I can do research on snakes and insects and stuff. Like I'm really big into science, so I can like research this stuff.
What if I told you that the second most poisonous spider in the U.S. is found in 99% of households?
Yeah.
And there was a study conducted in Kansas of this lady who would search her house for brown recluses, and she found 2,500 in one summer. How does that make you feel?
I mean, I've gone 22 years without getting bitten or anything, so.
Yeah, but like, it could happen.
I've never even seen a brown recluse in real life, so I mean,
That's
I
probably
think I'm
not
doing
true.
okay.
They're the most common spider around these parts.
Yeah.
Very, very common.
I'm sure I have. I'm sure I've seen it, but I mean, like, I've lived 22 years. I'm doing okay. So I've lived 22 years and I haven't seen a demon.
Next year it'll be I've lived 23 years and I've been bit by a brown recluse.
No, dude, don't wish that upon me.
I'm not wishing it upon it. I'm just saying it's gonna happen.
No.
It could happen.
That's why I don't like watch scary movies with like Insidious. No, don't watch those. A lot of people say they aren't that scary, but like they have demons
I think
and
there's
stuff.
like
Homie, don't play that.
I watched what are the Conjurings?
Oh yeah, The Conjuring 1 and 2.
Didn't get me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't get me at all.
Hmm.
Now, Sinister?
I
You seen Sinister?
no,
You should watch Sinister.
no, I should not.
That one actually got me. That's probably the scary movie. That's probably a scary movie that I've seen that like was actually scary to me. I don't know why. What about it? But
No, thank you.
because there's that infamous scene from the trailer where, like, the dad is like possessed to run over his family with a lawnmower.
I don't remember what that movie's about, and that's okay.
It's about like the Babadook possessing.
The Babadook?
Yes, like actually, it's about the Babadook possessing family members to kill the rest of the family members.
Oh.
Typically, it possesses the children to.
Oh, I see. I don't do children. I don't do that
Yeah.
either.
It always it goes after the kids.
Yeah. Oof. No. All right, let's get on a less spooky one.
It's Halloween, man.
It is. Yeah,
We got like 10 minutes. Let's get spookier.
Oh no, spookier. Okay. I have a funny story about this though. Like haunted houses, I was gonna move on to.
Okay.
Do you guys ever go to haunted houses?
I did 1 year.
I've never been in a haunted house.
Really?
However,
Do you not like them?
I have spent a lot of time at haunted houses.
Renting them?
No.
Wait, what?
My sister. This is another story. You guys are dragging it out of me today.
Yeah, I'm working it out, man. We're going deep today. I told you.
But my sister worked at she danced at a dance studio, and they were like sponsored by the haunted houses to dance the Thriller out in the streets for the people waiting. Because if you ever go down there in downtown at like around Halloween time, they are packed.
Oh, I remember
lines
those.
for
Oh, yeah.
miles. Yeah.
Is this for like those the really popular ones, like the Edge of Hell and stuff? Those
Yes,
ones?
they would
Okay.
circle around.
Yeah.
So we would go down every Friday and Saturday night, and my mom didn't trust me alone, so I would go with them, and they would dance at the Edge of Hell and the Beast and the Chambers, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Every 20 minutes or so.
So you just
And-
hear Thriller over and over again?
I heard Thriller hundreds of times. I probably could have done the dance by the amount of times I've seen it.
Nice.
I got really familiar with the guy down there who puts the rats in his mouth. That used to be a guy. I don't know if he's there anymore, but he
I
would
vaguely remember a guy with rats.
I don't want to be known as the guy that puts the rats in his mouth.
Well, he had like a real live rat that he kept in his pocket,
Mhm.
and he would walk up to people and just like slide it in his mouth, and then like shake it around, and then he'd take it out and put it in his pocket, and then throw it like a fake rat at people.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I got really familiar with that guy. That guy
Yeah.
was interesting.
I remember that guy when I went a
I
couple
used
years
to
ago.
hang out with him on his smoke breaks, or whatever, and then I was like 12. This was weird. And then there was the guy who dressed up as the werewolf with the giant stilts, and then there was a couple of guys. This really fat guy, really skinny guy. They were cut up all over, and they'd run around with chainsaws, but without the blade, and they just drag them along the ground
Oh yeah.
and rev them at you.
Classic.
Yeah. So I spent like 2 months out of the year for about 3 years, 2 nights a week.
That sounds awful when you put it that way.
That sounds.
It was a
horrible.
lot of time. I spent probably more time as a child going to my sister's dance events than I did doing literally anything else.
Oh, my sister did dance for a while, and there's just so many events and so many recitals, and it's just woo.
It was
It's bad.
killer. I got so much
It was
mileage out of
Thriller?
it. I got so much mileage out of my Game Boy.
Yeah.
And my mom would buy me games because she felt bad that I had to sit there.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I
This
want
is
to
not
go
a fair
home.
trade-off. I'm not okay with this.
No, because I didn't get anything in return. It was like one game a month, and I had to sit through like a minimum of like 40 hours of Emily's Dance.
Yeah. So a lot of Kirby Air Ride.
No, it was a Game Boy, so it was a lot
Oh,
of
so
like
Kirby and the
Sonic
Magic Mirror?
Adventure 2 and like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I logged like 700 hours into. Every single Pokemon game, I had like max stat Pokemon because I
Jeez.
like just would run the Elite Four.
That's crazy. I remember a haunted house story. So,
Okay.
one year in our middle school, no, it was our elementary school actually. My sister and like the rest of the fifth graders put on a haunted house. Like the fifth graders did, so you can.
Yeah,
imagine
we were
that it
supposed to do
wasn't
that
Scary.
at my school too, but we didn't that year.
I never had that.
Really?
Yeah.
I went to school in Overland Park, so
Wait, where did you go to school?
Oak Park Carpenter.
Carpenter.
Yeah, well, okay,
Like
so-
Jesus.
No, no, it was
Jesus
Oak
was a
Park. It was
carpenter.
Oak Park Elementary for 3 years, and then we combined with another elementary school. So
was-
they just combined the names, which was the stupidest thing. So we became Oak Park Carpenter.
I was a Riverview Falcon, as we've already
Yeah.
discussed.
Because you played the drums. Throwback. That was a good episode.
That's a cult.
Yeah, that is a cult. That is. But anyway, the fifth graders put on a haunted house, and my sister was running it. And my sister had a really cute friend that I was real into for a while.
Dang.
And she was doing the tours. Sorry, Hannah, as you're listening, but but she was doing the
Old
tours.
Bay.
Yeah, Old Bay. She was doing the tours, and she took me and some of my friends through, and I was such a wimp, and I cried as we were going through, and she had to lead me through by the hand.
So you
And there
got
was
to
this-
hold her hand.
Yeah, I got to hold her hand, but I was like actually crying. And like there was this one part where we had to crawl through this like dark area, and she was like, "I can't hold your hand anymore. You have to crawl through." I was like, "I can't go. I can't do it." And she was like, "Just go. It's fine." She's like, "There's nothing anyway. Just crawl. It's just a tunnel." And so I like finally was convinced to crawl through it. At the end, she was like, "You did good," and then like held my hand and pitifully walked me out the rest of the thing. Oh, I was such a little baby.
How old were you?
Like 3rd grade, 4th grade.
I like how she told you you did good, even though you were like
Even
maybe
though I
2
was-
years younger than her.
It was so horrible. I had such a crush on her too. That was the most traumatic experience of my life.
I would have. I think you would think you would have manned it up because
You
she
know,
was there.
you would have thought, but like, when it comes to scary things, all things went out the window for me.
I guess I have been through a haunted house, but it was at the Worlds of Fun haunted
Oh,
thing.
I love doing those.
I
never
didn't
went
like it. I didn't like it. I was terrified.
You never been down?
No, well, like I've been during Halloween 1 or 2 times,
you
but I
never
never
went
went
to
into
the
the
haunted
haunted houses. Yeah.
That's like the best part.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of like teenagers.
Yeah, we
Kinda
used to go
scary.
on dates with girls there during Halloween time, and so I went with this one girl, and she was pretty scared, so she held on to me. But little did she know that I was just as scared when I walked behind her. But I still got props.
Wow.
I was the worst, man. That was like a sophomore in high school too. I was like cowering in my boots. I did
don't-
not wear boots.
I
wanna
don't
make
get
that
scared
very
as
clear.
much anymore, though.
You know, I will say that I don't get scared as much anymore. Hannah made me watch a scary movie with her the other day, and I was like, dude, normally during this, because it was like a little possessed little girl. No, she wasn't even possessed.
With the
It was like
lights
a
on?
pretty real thing. What?
With the lights on.
No, all the lights were off. And like I actually,
That's the real test.
I actually did well through it. Like I sat through it. Yeah, it's pretty. It's the movie called Orphan, and it's about like this little Russian
It's
girl.
not scary.
You've seen it?
Yes.
Oh,
It's not scary though.
that's probably why I did well. I was proud of myself.
Sorry to kill it.
Man,
I don't know. I don't.
shame.
Maybe it was scary. I don't know.
I'm just gonna stop embarrassing myself. Maybe we should just stop the episode here. I'm done talking about embarrassing things about my life for this episode.
Oh, come on, we got one more embarrassing thing to go.
What is that?
Favorite Halloween costumes?
Sexy nurse.
That you've worn.
Oh, sexy nurse.
I knew you were gonna go there, but I was like, you know, I'll set up the joke anyway.
I don't know if I've ever really dressed up for Halloween.
Really?
What?
Ever? I'm sure as a kid they
Well,
you got
as a
dressed up.
kid, I remember there was one Halloween where I dressed up as a burglar.
Like,
And it was because I wanted to have a sack as part of the costume, so I had somewhere to put the candy.
That's a smart idea, actually.
That's the only reason I
Did
did
you
it.
put like
though.
the dollar sign on the sack?
No,
Oh.
it was just a pillowcase. I had to use the pillowcase later. I didn't want to ruin it.
You just stole the pillowcase from your pillow?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll give it to you. I was Captain Jack Sparrow one year, and it had like the hat with the dreadlocks, and I thought it was
Wow.
the coolest thing ever.
I don't think.
I still have that costume somewhere in my house.
I remember my mom was like, "Let me put like a burglar's mask and like makeup on you," and I said, "No, I don't want to wear makeup."
So you just had a
I was
pillowcase?
just like, I was a dude with a black shirt and a pillowcase.
People are like, "What are you?" And you're like, "I don't know, candy, something."
Shut up and give me
Burglar or some
candy.
stuff. Just give me candy, man.
I stopped going trick or treating at a very young age.
Really, I went for a while.
I went until about 4th grade.
Yeah, I always went with Joe, because Joe's like 5 years younger than
Yeah.
me, so
I stopped going pretty early.
5 or 6 years younger. I don't remember.
I stopped going like by the time I hit. Well, definitely by the time I hit middle school.
6
but-
years.
wow. I went up until late middle school, maybe freshman year.
I think that's about typical
Really?
though.
Yeah, I think that's about fair. Yeah, middle school. But
I don't
Dale,
know.
do you have a favorite Halloween costume?
Favorite Halloween costume? I rolled a bunch of different ones, mainly Star Wars related.
Same.
Were you Yoda?
No, no, that was one that I was not.
You'd think though.
Short joke.
No, I went as.
Come on, man, that was a low blow.
Yeah, that was quite the low blow.
That was the joke, man.
Let's see, I rolled as, I don't know, Anakin, Obi-Wan,
I was Obi-Wan.
Were you Hayden Christensen?
Yeah.
Feel bad for you.
from, no, episode 2.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
That's still Hayden Christensen.
That is Hayden
But-
That is
Christensen,
true.
by the way.
Darth Maul? Yeah.
You were wow.
Did you have the spiky head?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was one of those, like, really bad, like, face mask things.
Oh.
I wore a rubber mask one year, and I never wore any mask again.
Masks were always the worst.
Masks are the
But-
worst because
Well-
your face gets so hot and
So my birthday was around November,
Mhm.
and I wore a rubber mask in about like 1st or 2nd grade.
yeah.
And for my birthday, we watched Goosebumps: The Haunted Mask,
Ooh.
where the mask gets sucked
Sucked
to
on-
her face,
yeah.
and she can't get it off. Never wore a mask again.
Yeah.
In fact, they make me so like claustrophobic. I still don't.
Wasn't done.
Oh.
Okay. I did go as Darth Vader. Had the full helmet and everything.
You're just listing more Star Wars characters.
That's about all I was. To be honest.
You stopped us for that?
No, this continues.
No.
No,
Chewbacca.
no. Darth
Jar
Vader was
Jar.
the last one, but one year I did gray face paint. because like
For what?
for Vader,
What?
because like at the very end of Return of the Jedi, like he's
Yeah, but like,
pale
don't
as
you
all
wear
hell.
the mask?
I probably took it off, to be honest, because
So
that
you were
mask
like-
sucked.
You were like James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones is just the voice.
I'm so confused. You just painted your face gray because at the end of the movie, when he takes off the mask, he's like dying.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Now
That's
it just
attention
sounds
to
stupid.
detail.
Yeah.
I might have actually gone with some scars too.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
You went really
That's
in.
very attentive to detail.
And then let's see. I rolled as Rocky Balboa.
You talk like
The
Sylvester
fourth movie.
Stallone all night.
Fourth movie. You know, got the American shorts and everything. However,
I've never seen any of the Rocky movies, but
I think I've mainly
Are you
only
an
seen like
American?
4. I don't think I've seen the original.
what?
What? What is wrong with both of you? Those are
They
great
only
movies.
ever play 4.
It's all about how the Americans triumph over the Russians.
Yeah, I've seen 4. Oh, anyway. Turns out, poor choice of costume because it's like really cold on Halloween
Yeah,
usually.
it's almost always really cool around Halloween. I was just thinking, like, I was actually thinking this today as I was walking back from Alex. I was thinking about Halloween costumes, and I was thinking, like, they should really make Halloween costumes with, like, more layers.
They should.
Like, make the costume, but find a way to make it, like,
I
was
wore
literally
the
wearing
burglar
short
suit.
shorts and
the
like
burglar suit is the pinnacle of Halloween costumes. You
It's
have a
not.
bag for candy. You can wear a long black sweater with a black cap.
oh, I just remembered. So
It's the most efficient Halloween costume.
It's the most lazy Halloween costume.
one
Hey
year,
man,
one year I didn't really have one.
ingenuity.
Is Dale still talking about Star Wars characters?
and- No, I'm not. I had this bright green and orange AK, and I totally put a like shirt around my head and went as a terrorist.
Oh, that's in poor taste.
It was. One person caught on to it. They're just like,
Wow.
wow.
That's in very poor taste. Oh my gosh. Who allowed that?
I think with that, that's all the time we have this week.
Oh, I got one more costume.
Oh my god.
Stop! Please, no.
Don't
We
worry,
got
it's
one
not in
more
poor
for all
taste.
you people still waiting on your Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
Here it is. The,
We got-
the idea.
Anyone's any
The
ideas?
80s hair metal guitarist. And
That was a little more tame than the terrorist.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Oh,
bring my guitar and all, and it won me a costume contest back in high school. And
I thought you were gonna say you were one of the Twin Towers for Halloween.
oh god, no!
Anyway,
And hopefully it wins again
Anyway.
Let's be
on
done.
Tuesday.
if you like the podcast, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see this podcast and more like it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Leave down below your favorite Halloween costume that's not offensive. Something you're afraid of,
Or maybe
what
you just
plan to go.
maybe
this
just your
year as
favorite Star Wars
Halloween.
character.
Yeah, and your favorite Star Wars character too. As
What
long
happened this episode? What happened?
we will catch you guys next week.
Jeez. Oh.